Good morning, distinguished panelists and very distinguished delegates from the field of academia. Primarily, I find the people from academia are present here. I would like to start thanking the organizers for giving us this opportunity of inviting Keele University to make a presentation on role of universities in promoting inclusive education. Friends, ours is a private university, very young one. We understand university, the idea of a university comes from universality of education, providing education to all, having different cultural, demographic, and other types of differences, and having the opportunity for education in a broad, very broad area, not in a very small field. Now, in this background, our university was born in the year 2009, and we have had some strategies from the very beginning of providing or having inclusive education. So when I talk about inclusive education, it would be very appropriate for me to make a brief presentation on our university structure. Because unless I would think that unless this is done very briefly, maybe about 2 minutes time, what we have done in terms of providing inclusive education to all will not be really very much appreciated. My presentation plan would be, I will talk briefly, as I said, on our university profile, and then I will talk about some issues of inclusive education at university level. We are not talking of inclusive education at the school level. And then I will say what we have done in our university, and then I will sum up. Ours, as I said, is a university born in 2009. It was earlier an engineering college about 30 years old. This university has been recognized by very many different agencies. NAAC, we have A, ISO certified, and many more things. In terms of providing education in a very broad way, we have engineering, we have management, we have commerce, we have sciences, all under one roof. And we have about 9,500 students and about 700 teachers in our university. Our admission takes place based on merit lists provided by the state, the competitive examinations, the national level competitive examinations, and we have our own examination. We follow very strictly, try to follow the national reservation policy in terms of people from different weaker sections having access to education in our university. We have provided fee concessions. It's a private university. Fee concessions for reserved category students based on their means, different amounts, different levels, 50% concession to 25% concessions. And we have also some kind of a reservation quota for people coming with proficiency in sports and, of course, differently able persons. We have students from all over the country, as well as some students, close to every year about 80 from the SAARC countries. We have a good mix-up of students coming from urban and rural areas. Gender-wise, it's a very good mix-up. We have mix-up of caste and religion. We do not give any consideration in that respect at all. And we have, what is more important is, our students come from different economic background. Now, when we talk about inclusive education, when we see dictionaries and Google search and all that, really we started thinking about the country or the education. It's inclusive education primarily was meant for learners with special needs being made part of the regular stream. They should not be made to understand or feel that they are different, and hence different classroom, different kind of attention, etc. should not be there. But that kind of a situation, to my mind, I hope you all agree, doesn't one doesn't come across in a higher education like in a university. On the other hand, we have students with different languages, communication skills, barriers, diverse academic preparations, rural and etc. coming. And we have students, what is more important is students with different motivational levels, intellectual calibers and learning styles. That makes the whole thing really very complex, and hence inclusive education has a meaning in this particular respect. What Keele University thought of doing, our strategies had been that to take care of the students who have a little low level of academic preparations, we have bridge courses to begin with at our first year level. When students join, they attend the classes, but then some of the students are invited to go for a bridge course in the evening hours. We have remedial classes done because we have a system where we monitor their progress, their academic performance, their participation in the classes, etc., regularly, and within about 2-3 months of the time of their joining, we try to identify some of the students who need remedial classes. We do organize remedial classes. And then at the end of a year, we have summer quarter organized for, again, those students who otherwise find it difficult, tough to go about along the course, etc., as it is done. We have, in this particular process, to identify who need the bridge courses, remedial classes, special quarter, etc., we have student counselors and mentors, and they are very active. We do have a system where these mentors identify who are the students who will require some kind of a small attention. We have certain initiatives. Other than this, we have certain committees which integrate the students of different categories, like the reserve category students, etc., may feel shy to mix up with the mainstream. So we have certain processes where we involve them in their extracurricular activities. We have a policy of doing that. We have Women's Forum. We have internal assessment quality cell, which is a very important cell. We give a lot of respect to that. And they monitor the compliance of such things, that is, whether the special classes are being organized, whether the students of these reserve category students are involved in all the committees and then all the extracurricular and other activities or not. And then what is more important is we have a committee to monitor the progression of the students. From the very beginning, we find their level, and we have got a format designed where every month the counselor, the monitor, the mentor has to write down something as to what is happening with respect to the group of students who are under him or her. And in this particular thing, what we have a concept to integrate the entire population of students, equity, to provide equity, transparency, we focus on concept, competence, and confidence building. How do you do that? In terms of concept, we have a teaching approach which provides the concept. Evaluation is based on certain Bloom's taxonomy, etc. And as you know, learned audience will know that we have initiatives to provide competence, outcome-based curriculum we have adopted, competency-based courses are designed, and we see to it that students do many projects. The ICT-based teaching learning, we have a system where smart boards, multi-screens, LCD, etc., etc. We have virtual lab. We are partner of the National Knowledge Commission. Confidence, yes, we have soft skills to provide them confidence. We have employability skill-oriented programs. We have certificate courses which also give them confidence, and yoga and all that. We have outreach-related programs. Again, they do all that. Outcome of this, we find that it is fairly doing good because we have this progression measured and exhibited and transparent. It is made regularly transparent system, and through the extracurricular and other activities. I will sum it up. Inclusive education at university level, especially in professional courses, we find has a different relevance, and this has to be done with respect to integrating the entire community of the students into one level. And in my presentation, I have tried to tell you the story of KL University, what we are doing. Thank you very much for your kind attention.